Physical media is very important, kids. One day, maybe the cloud ain't there. How are you going to watch Dogma?
Being able to hold it in your hand and see the artwork and the posters and have the names, it's it's a real thing.
Such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
The coach is back. That's right. Jarret Gahan here again, once more for PE class, your monthly roundup of all things physical. How's it going, mate?
Good, man. Good. I've just been sniffing the socks in the locker room and they're smelling magnificent, like foot odor. Beautiful, beautiful. No, good, mate. My good man. We're right in the midst of obviously Melbourne Monster Fest at the moment, so I'm looking a little disheveled, but that's just because we've been hard at it watching countless films that we've already seen, or some that we've actually never seen on the big screen. Case in point being Slithus, which was a true treat to see on the big screen.
Yeah. Look, I withheld watching it once that name was bandied about during the programming meetings. I was like, no, I'll just watch it at Monster Fest.
Perfect. Yeah. Now I'm really keen to see if they could actually do a remake, a modern remake of it. But perhaps the Slithus could be taking some cues from the humanoids from the deep, and possibly struggle cuddling some victims. But we'll make them men, so it's okay.
It needs to be, it needs to be like Alien, kind of, where they can impregnate anything.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, no, I think that could be that. It could play as a pretty funny comedy, and they could get Emma Thompson back to reprise her role from Junior, which would be pretty good. She could be studying the pregnant males. But anyway, I digress. This week, Benjamin, look, this week's probably the biggest week of the month for home entertainment releases. And I'm going to do it like I did it last month, where I broke them down into what I title newies and what I also dubbed classics. So I'll start with the newies. And there's a lot of newies coming out this week. The bulk of newies are coming out this week. The big heavy hitter titles. I've got Superman coming out, the new James Gunn Superman, which I still haven't seen. But I was told by your fine self that it wasn't bad. I think that was sort of
that's my I seem to be alone.
You said it was better than Superman Begins, though, yeah?
Yeah. And I seem to be alone in that review. Everyone seems to like this Superman. Like love it. Like
right.
Whereas I was
not super sold on it. No, I am keen to see it. I haven't seen it yet. I'll probably get around to it eventually. At the moment, we can't really watch films with loud volumes in the house, because watching something like Superman, you want to have the volume up a little, but with a 6-month-old, it's kind of impossible. We basically watch everything with subtitles, and I can't see the point of watching something like Superman with subtitles, especially if I've got to put the closed caption on where it's like loud sound.
You're gonna have to get yourself some 5.1 cans.
I'm thinking of getting the Bluetooth headphones, the Atmos headphones, so I can get kind of the experience. It could very well happen, because I don't know how long we're going to be in this sort of period of not being able to watch loud movies. So yeah, I've been, like, I think I've said it to you before, I've been watching a lot of British crime and drama, because they get the right mix, all the dialogue's at the right level, which is pretty good on an 8 with subtitles. So if you do miss something, particularly if you've got a Welsh character in there, I'm like, hang on, what was that? Was that in English? To go back. But yes, so Superman is out. It's on all the formats, 4K, Blu-ray, DVD. Of course, the 4K has Atmos, as does the Blu-ray. And it's a Warner Roadshow title, so generally they always carry the Atmos over to the Blu-ray. Also, Jurassic World Rebirth. I was shocked that this one was already coming out on home entertainment, but I guess it has been out there for a few months. I have no interest in watching this movie, in all honesty. Like, I didn't watch the last Jurassic World, and I thought they were just going to reboot the entire thing, but this is just another extension of the Jurassic World.
Like, franchise. I've seen half of it, and I enjoyed the half that I saw.
Okay.
Except for Scarlett Johansson, she was kind of. It's another one of those ones where they get these, and as good as she was as Black Widow, they get these kind of attractive actresses, and they try to play these kind of hardcore, like, soldier types, and you're just not really pulling it off.
Really
like,
buying it. No,
you would have been better off as a kind of a Laura Dern type character, just with the smarts. But
Makes sense. Yeah.
all that aside, the rest of it was pretty good. And there's a lot of water stuff in the first half, which I enjoyed. I like the water dinosaurs.
Okay. Oh well, look, I'm not totally against it. There's a chance that I may watch it if there's a long plane ride coming up. It might be the perfect,
Yeah, definitely.
antidote to getting
Yeah.
some sleep on the plane. 28 years later is coming out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD. Of course, the third installment. I don't even know. Like, is it the third installment or is technically the second installment? Do we pretend that 28 weeks later didn't happen? I'm not
Yeah, I don't
entirely
know.
sure because they don't really address that in this, and it's just sort of like that unspoken
I don't
thing. But
know.
I didn't. It was okay. Like I wasn't super thrilled by this movie. I thought it was fine. I'd definitely watch it again, but probably in hopes that this Bone Temple's going to be thoroughly amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Bring
that
it
one.
back.
It was
I
very
think it's
much
Mia
like
Costa that's directed it too. The director that did the Candyman reboot, which was really, really
Oh,
good.
okay.
Who's done this Bone Temple?
I feel like this 28 years later was much more of a. Have you seen that Tales from the Walking Dead show where it's
Yeah,
each
yeah,
episode is it's like an anthology kind of thing, a
yes,
different tale in that world? Because
yeah,
really, if it,
yeah,
it should just be that kind of Killian Murphy, and I can't remember her name, the his
yes.
offsider in it, and the
You're
daughter
right. You're right.
running
Yeah,
around doing stuff. Like that would be for me the perfect 28 years
yeah.
later. Like they're just kind of arthritic and
Yeah, it's
yeah,
I'd rather follow that road down there. But yeah, 28 years later, yeah, I'm curious to see where the Bone Temple will take us because obviously 28 years later ended on a kind of odd note, and so
yeah.
that's the lead in for the Bone Temple. So
I will say
curious to sort of see where it leads.
it's the most I've liked Ray Fiennes in a very long time.
Yeah, I admittedly have not seen him in anything for quite some time because for a point in time he was just making films with the director that did the Suspiria reboot, Luca.
Oh,
I know he did a bigger
quite
splash and did a yeah,
yeah. Didn't he?
the
He was in
unpronounceable.
Kingsman.
Oh no, yeah, he was good in that. Yes, of course. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Anyway, moving on from that, the last one I do want to mention is F1, which I'm pretty sure
Ooh.
that when this was released theatrically, it was just called F1, right?
Yes.
But on the home
Or F1 the
entertainer, they're
movie.
calling it. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it's written as on the home entertainment artwork. And I thought when I saw the trailers and everything, it was just called F1, but it's felt like they need to distinguish it on home entertainment and add the movie to it.
Yeah.
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 What
I guess
did you see this one?
I did see this one. I saw this one. I think I saw it at IMAX, although I'm an old man and can't remember things. But I did see it.
Yeah.
I did see it theatrically. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a lot of fun.
See, another one I really want to see, but this also strikes me as the kind of film that I probably don't want to watch just with subtitles. It's going to probably diminish my enjoyment of the movie, so I'll
Yeah.
probably have to wait it out for a little longer. But
Although,
I am very keen to see it.
I mean, I can give you a preview of the sound though. It's just
Oh,
vroom,
excellent.
vroom, vroom,
Oh, terrific.
vroom, vroom.
See,
That's
sometimes I've got very good at being the master of the remote, of being able to quickly turn it down when I can tell like it's about to get loud and then turn it back up when it gets soft again. But that film sounds like it's
yeah.
dangerously unpredictable, like it's super suspenseful. Like I'll be sitting there like shaking with the remote.
Yeah, I think you
But yeah,
have to have the Formula One, like put it on on the like one of the sports channels and have that all day. So
yeah,
then
yeah,
Rory
yeah.
just it's just
Just
become like a
completely
train in the background.
climatized.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's white noise. It's
Yeah.
white noise. Well, that one's coming out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD, so all the formats. Look forward to checking that one out. Another newie that's actually owning its own week. It's coming out next week, October 15th, is the new Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, which I believe I thought originally it was going to be called Dead Reckoning Part 2, but it's just Final Reckoning makes a lot of sense. I guess it's better to distinguish as its own thing. Again, haven't seen this one, Ben, and I am a huge Tom Cruise fan, as you know, and a moderate fan of the Mission Impossible franchise, but I am looking forward to checking this one out. But I know, and I do have it on the shelf over there, I do have Dead Reckoning, the first one of this sort of two-parter. I would have to rewatch that because I have no idea what happened in that movie at
Yeah.
all. Could have been to do with falling asleep for about 20 minutes. The seats were very comfortable when I saw it theatrically. But I will revisit it.
I do find with the Mission Impossible movies that I thoroughly enjoy thoroughly enjoyable spectacle when you're watching it, spectacle. But then afterwards, I couldn't tell you any of the specific plot points of any of the films,
No,
except kind of the
no.
first one,
Maybe just
because
one key moment. Oh, is that the one where he jumps out of the plane? Is that one where he rides the motorbike into the sky? Or is
yeah,
that the one where he's on a motorbike
which is the
going
one
through
that
flames?
Cavill does his arms
Oh
like a
yeah, yeah,
cocking
yeah,
gun.
yeah.
That one I remember that
Yeah,
one.
total.
But
Totally.
can you recite the Mission Impossible oath? No, because you haven't seen the film. Once you've seen the
No.
film, you will be able to recite the oath because they
Oh,
repeat it
excellent.
that many times.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh, well, I'll look forward to that. And particularly if I'm watching with subtitles, because I'll be able to extra absorb it.
Yeah.
But that one's only its own week. That's the only newie that's coming out this week. Then moving on to another newie that's coming out next week, October 22nd. Actually, we've got a few. October 22nd is probably the second biggest month of newies this month because we've got I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is coming out 4K Blu-ray and DVD. And we've got, oh no, I missed one. Sorry, Benjamin. Last week, it turns out Mission Impossible doesn't own the entire week because we've also got Dangerous Animals, which is coming out
Ah,
surprisingly locally on 4K Blu-ray and DVD. So Kismet and Madman are doing a 4K for it, which is amazing. Like I was blown away by
excellent.
that. But yes, that's coming out the same week as Mission Impossible. So actually, October 22nd, there are two horror films that are coming out, two newies. The aforementioned I Know What You Did Last Summer that's coming out in all the formats. And then Sony's releasing Bring Her Back on
Okay.
Blu-ray and DVD. No 4K for this one, which is kind of a shock. We're getting Dangerous Animals on 4K from Madman and Kismet, but Sony aren't giving Guernsey to bring it back for 4K, which is a shame. It has got a 4K in the US, which is on available on a retail
Mm,
level. A24 have done it. Sometimes A24 will hold back the 4K and do it through their own website, which
yeah.
pains me because their shipping is outrageous. I had to get the Heretic 4K via them, and it cost me a small fortune. I think I paid almost as much for the shipping as I did for the actual title itself. So it was actually criminal. But so yeah, only Blu-ray and DVD for that, which is a damn shame because I think it's one of the best films of the year. And I don't see it being revisited anytime soon locally. Though it may be sub-licensed overseas and put out in a beautiful boutique. I could see that being something that Second Sight might do down the track.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
and I don't know what, in terms of special features, have been ported for this Blu-ray and DVD release locally comparatively with the A24 one, because the A24 one's pretty hefty. It's a pretty nice release, but that's all the newies that are coming out this month that I've chosen to mention. There's a few others, like actually Materialists is coming out, Selena Song's new film, which I didn't mind. It was fine. It wasn't a patch on past lives. But that's only Blu-ray and DVD. I think it might even be October 22nd, but I'm just saying that off the top of my head because I wasn't even going to mention it. But let's move on to the most important stuff, Ben, the stuff that brings a smile to both our faces. The classics. What classics are
Yes.
coming to 4K Ultra HD this month? Well, this week is a bit of a bonanza for genre fans because we've got the Nightmare on Elm Street collection coming out on 4K locally and super affordable price point. I think it's retailing for under $150 locally, which is super cheap considering you are getting 7 films. Nightmares 1 through 7, 7 being New Nightmare, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It is just a 4K only set. You don't get the Blu-rays with it, but that's fine because they put all the special features on the 4Ks. There's even multiple cuts of the films. One, you've got the theatrical and the uncut home video uncut version. And number 5, it's like the debut of the uncut version of the Dream Child on any disc format because they never did the uncut one from memory. No, they didn't do it on DVD, and they certainly didn't do it on Blu-ray. So I haven't seen it since the old first release home video that came back out. Oh God, 1990 or so. So anyway, that one's out, and that one's got Atmos in each one of the films. I really can't wait to get a hold of this one. Admittedly, I did hold back on pre-ordering it because the funds well practically zero these days. They're being allocated toward baby funds. So I really have to, I have to work as to how I'm going to do that. And sometimes, often it means getting rid of something else from the collection to make room for something
Yeah.
new.
Your side hustle needs a
Uh,
side hustle.
Oh, it totally does. It so does. But God, yeah. But I'm very keen to add that one to the collection. Also out this week on 4K, another genre title, The Conjuring, which is odd that it's getting a release this week. Because I mean, the last one, Last Rites, came out last month, so you think they might have kind of released it to time with that. But No, they didn't. They didn't even bother putting an Atmos track on this. It's got the existing Blu-ray DTS HD 5.1 track, which kind of it's just
Gross.
insulting. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, like The Conjuring of all films needs an Atmos track. It just blows my mind that it doesn't. They have added 2 new featurettes. It's got 5 featurettes on it, 3 archival ones and 2 new featurettes. So that's at least they've gone to a little bit of effort with it for a studio release. And look, it's a great price. It's retailing like for under $25. So look, if you can get a catalog title on 4K for under $25, I think that's kind of forgivable in that regard.
Yeah.
And then also coming out this week, I think it's 100% it's this week. Imprint are releasing Wolf Creek on 4K. Now they've obviously released Wolf Creek before on Blu-ray in a 2-disc edition that had the uncut and theatrical version and all the archival special features. Well, now they're releasing this 3-disc set in a rigid box, and it's got the uncut version in 4K. But guess what? It's got Atmos. It's got Atmos.
Got Atmos.
So they know what they're doing. They know what they're
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
I tell you, look,
Warner, no.
I don't
Imprint.
mind the old Imprint upgrade. Like
Yeah, I agree.
yes, it was a couple of years ago that I bought the Blu-ray, but I'll take the 4K.
Yeah,
That's
likewise,
fine.
and I'll take it, and I'm glad because so often with the studio releases and even some of the boutique labels overseas, is they'll be doing, a 4K release of the theatrical cut, and then say the Blu-ray will have the uncut or the unrated or whatever they want to call it, extended cut. And sometimes it's because that cut has only been prepared for, say Blu-ray once upon a time or DVD. But the fact that that you've got Imprint doing that superior version of the film on 4K makes me happy because look, I think more often than not, unless it's Ridley Scott, because there could be argument that some of the director's cuts may not be the preferred cut that you want on 4K. In the instance of Ridley Scott, I think he's just got to present all his cuts on the 4K. On that note, have you got Kingdom of Heaven yet, Ben?
No, I haven't. No.
No. Well, that's okay. Look, like I said, I've seen the Steelbook reappear. The Steelbook's popped back up on all the major retailers again. So, there's no real sense of FOMO in this day and age. When it comes to the majors, like at the moment, there's a big panic on the internet because Night of the Living Dead, the Savini Night of the Living Dead's just got a beautiful, like I think might be a 3-disc release. Yeah, 3-disc release in the US through Sony and in the UK. Yeah, it's got an all-new uncut version of the film that has never seen the light of day prior to this particular release. But Sony's done the 4K, 2 4Ks, one with the theatrical, one with the uncut version, and then a Blu-ray component that's got both of those. They've got new special features, archive. They've really done a wonderful job, and it's in a beautiful steelbook, but they kind of underbaked how much demand there was for it. So this thing pretty much sold out on pre-order. None of it was making store shelves, and certainly didn't make a lot of the local, not the local Amazon, but Sony seeing the demand and not having really said it was limited, repressing it, and it's going to be back out there again in November. So I was a little bit like, oh no, look, I have missed out. I should have pulled the trigger. I didn't. And I was a bit broken because I really liked Savini's remake. But they are making more. So yeah, this is exactly what's happened with the Kingdom of Heaven. Suddenly, what? It's sold out. But
and then
it's really
back
not.
in.
It's only the boutiques. It's only the boutiques you really got to worry about.
Yeah. And look,
when
there's
they
always
sell out
there's
more
always
than what they do.
they've only got it for 5 years. Any boutique, even the boutique
Exactly.
label, they only have it for 5 years, and then somebody else would just release it. So you never really
100%. We're seeing that happen. Like, look at Beastmaster, for instance. Vinegar Syndrome had it out, 3D set, went out of print, and now Scream Factory's just released a 3-disc edition of it in the US, which is basically just a carbon copy of the Vinegar Syndrome edition as well. But yeah, if the title's popular and there's still demand for it, someone's going to reissue it and release it. Hopefully you're not picking up any of the screaming in the background. I assure you it's all above board.
No, I'm
My
not.
daughter's
I can't hear.
Oh, good. She's just unhappy with something. I'm not sure what. Yeah, maybe the milk wasn't at the right temperature or something. I'm not entirely sure. But
do you want to go and check?
Oh no, that's fine. No, yes, that's fine. That's not my responsibility at this point in time. So we're good. Bless my wife. So moving on. So another title that's coming out in 4K Ultra HD. Now this one is coming out. I think this one's coming out October 8th. I really wish I'd written this one down the date wise. I think it's because I was excited for it, and then when I saw what it was, I was really sort of underwhelmed with what we're getting. It's the absolute classic, The Graduate. What a fantastic film! Like, the amount of times I've upgraded this film from video to DVD to Blu-ray actually from DVD to special edition DVD to Blu-ray to the Criterion to the Studio Canal one, because the Studio Canal one actually was better.
It's Mike Nichols. Is Mike Nichols The Graduate?
Mike Nichols,
Mike Nichols,
yeah.
Because I heard that he pulled a Caligula on this, and after the actors went home, he brought in some porn actors, and they did a whole bunch of hardcore stuff that then got cut into a very that has never seen the light of day.
What?
But
That
like a
sounds
MILF,
amazing.
like a MILF version of
That's phenomenal.
The Graduate.
Is this a legit urban
This
legend
is-
that I've just kind of missed? This is fantastic.
It's 100%.
Oh, wow.
It's 100%
Well,
legit
look,
in here.
well, I could probably skip. Okay, yeah. I was going to say maybe I'll skip this release in hope that version will
Just
finally
wait for the
surface.
hardcore
Yeah,
version. Yeah,
I want that. I want that.
the
to
Dustin
happen.
Hoffman impersonator is spot on.
And God, he's like a bloody horse. I tell
He's
you
like
what.
he's like a tripod.
For a little guy,
Yeah.
he's a really big guy. But yeah, The Graduates. So the local release, really underwhelming, because Studio Canal have put out a fantastic edition in the UK, even in the standard release, the 4K and Blu-ray. It's got 3 commentary tracks on the 4K, and then the Blu-ray's got all the archival extras, which were, huge, as it were. Now this 4K release, it's coming out locally. The decision's been made to only do the 4K disc, no Blu-ray. So you only get the commentary tracks. You don't get any of those archival special features. So if you own the Blu-ray, by all means upgrade, but hold on to this Blu-ray and just, make it your own little bundle, or just pick up the UK version so you can get, because I mean, The Graduate is the kind of film that deserves for you to watch the special feature content. You just don't dip into The Graduate and let it go. You're either going to listen to the soundtrack for a week after watching the film, or you're going to watch some of those special features. But yes, moving on, Ben, there's not much more coming out this month except for maybe a handful of new to 4K releases, 2 of which have been out overseas for ages, but they're finally making their way to 4K locally, and that's John Singleton's Boys in the Hood, a classic.
Lovely.
Unfortunately, only 4K, no Blu-ray, so you don't get all the special feature content. You get some, but not all of it. And then another one that's making its way to locally that hasn't been. Well, actually, this one's just got released in the US, I should say. It's been out in the UK for a little while, but that's because 88 Films did a really nice edition of it. But American Pie is coming out on 4K locally, and I haven't been able to confirm it 100%. From what I gather, we are only getting the 4K of this. We're not getting the Blu-ray, which means we don't get all the legacy special features, including like a 3-hour documentary. So you'll basically get the commentary track, and that's really it. But it has got the uncut version of the film, and I believe the theatrical cut as well. But 2 titles that are coming out on 4K locally, pretty much in line with their US releases. Clue's coming out on 4K. Now this one has come out in the States before through Screen Factory, but Paramount are putting it out in the UK, in the US. On 4K. I don't even know how that works, to be honest. So strange. Screen Factory's put the 4K out only maybe 2 years ago, and now Paramount's releasing on 4K also in the US with none of the special features.
In my experience, the studios, even when they've licensed a title, seem to think that it doesn't count for them putting out stuff.
Yeah,
like they can license it to you, and no one else, none of the other boutiques can put it out. But if they want to put it out, they're going to do it.
Just put it.
And what are you going to do about it? Yeah.
And more than likely, it's going to be an inferior version of it. Let's face it. But there's a very good chance also it might be half the price as well. Because Anyway, so yeah, Clue's coming out, and The Black Phone. So actually, The Black Phone's been out forever and a day in the US and the UK, but that one's coming out locally, obviously to tie in the release with Black Phone 2. Which
I'm looking forward to both of those films.
Yeah, I got mixed feelings on The Black Phone too. I don't know what to expect from that. Look, I was a little underwhelmed by the trailer and the premise of, now it's going to become kind of like this Nightmare on Elm Street kind of. The grab is going to become Freddy Krueger. But look, I think it's probably the best for me to go in because I love that original Black Phone. So if I go in with no or very minimal expectations, and I could be blown away by Black Phone 2. So I guess I'll just
I haven't done any research on it. I'm going to go in blind.
That's it. I've read none of the reviews. I haven't even read the synopsis. I literally only saw the trailer. And I think that was because I actually had avoided it because I'd seen the teaser, which gave little away, but then I avoided the trailer. But then, of course, they played it before I went to see something recently.
But
to escape, and I'm like, oh.
I'm sure I'm sure in the trailer for Black Phone 2, they've done that time-honored trope where they've just cut in a whole bunch of scenes from other films, so as not to
Yes,
do any,
yes.
not to give away any spoilers.
That's it. We'll spoil every other movie you've ever seen, like Evil Dead Rise, but we won't spoil a second
Yeah,
of Black Phone 2 for you.
so
Yeah, God, yeah, the
yeah.
time-honored technique. Yes. Yeah, it is the master filmmakers that do that. Now, there's one last release I will mention. Now, there is a very slight chance of hope still in me that maybe early next month, when I come back onto the show again and talk about what's coming out for November, that I might even have a sample of this to talk about. But we'll just keep our fingers crossed. But it's Via Vision and Imprint's release of the Halloween 1 to 5 set that's coming out in the
Ooh.
Jack-o'-lantern. They've increased the run. Originally, I think it was only going to be like 1,000 units, and now they've increased 2,000. So that increases my chances of potentially getting a review copy of this.
A copy of it.
Hope I do.
I've
I
seen,
really do, because it looks magnificent.
I've seen there was a bit of a backlash online about them adding another 1,000 units. You're like, come on, man.
I couldn't understand. There's so many
Yeah,
people that were like, oh, well, now that means it's not going to be worth as much because it was going to be numbered out of 1,000, but now it's going to be numbered out of 2,000. And I was thinking, well, what are you buying it for? Are you buying it as
yeah,
an investment opportunity? You're buying it because you really want it. And I mean, honestly, the difference between 1,000 and 2,000 isn't a
not
great
that
deal
much.
more.
When
And
we've
if
got
you're looking to resell it, just wait a couple extra months and it will be worth whatever it was going to be worth if
yeah,
it was half the print run, you know? Yeah, I know. People were getting really sort of upset about it. And I was thinking, yeah, you've got uh, we've
like
got
it
such
has it
little.
changed the content? No, not
No,
at all. It's
exactly.
still,
100%. a
you
hundred
know,
percent.
was it?
I mean, the only thing they could have possibly done that Imprint could have done is gone, we're increasing the print run, which obviously means that the costs are coming down because, we've got obviously manufacturing costs, but, we've already paid, say, for the license and the content. Is they could have added one more interview. I don't know where or with who because this thing is stacked.
No, they could have
But
just
look,
done
they could have.
they could have done the umbrella trick and just slightly changed the color of the font somewhere on the one of the
Oh,
back snips or
totally.
something.
Totally. Or they could have enlisted someone to do a video essay talking about something. And that person could have been me, and I could have got a contributor copy, and I could be showing this to you at the end of the month. But no, yeah, look, this release is nothing short of astounding. And if you are looking to get this release, I probably would lock it in soon because I honestly don't know if these things are going to be around by the end of the month. And as we get closer to Halloween, people are probably going to get a little bit more itchy for it, and it's going to sell
And
completely through.
I tell you, I was around at a mate's place a couple of weeks ago, and he had bought the the keep,
Oh, the cape,
the
yeah,
keep,
that looks
and
amazing.
that is an impressive. Like Imprint do not fuck around with these box sets.
No,
Like the
no,
weight of it was phenomenal. Like
yeah.
barely, it was like holding my junk because I could barely hold it in one hand.
Yeah,
It was
yeah. I heard that I don't know if I'm correct. I think I read that maybe it weighed about 6.5 kilo or something, which sounds
yeah,
like a nightmare to ship overseas. If I was working in their shipping department or if I was paying for it to be imported to another country.
to
But
another country. Yeah,
that thing
and
looks amazing. I saw it at JB. They obviously had it, but they had it on behind the counter there,
yeah,
and it just dwarfed it. That's where they seem to keep the steel books and that, obviously, so they don't get stolen or dented or whatever on the shop floor. But that thing dwarfed everything around it. It
yeah.
was gigantic. It was amazing. It actually looked like a house of worship because it's the cross and it was
It
right at
looks
the back of the
it looks amazing. Look, at first I wasn't
yeah
going to buy it because I've got the
vinegar
Vinegar
syndrome.
Syndrome
Yes.
release, and now I regret that decision. And now I'm
Mm.
even thinking I got to get that Never Ending Story. And
Oh, I'd get
the
that.
June with the sand, like
I don't know. I don't know about the June, but the June does look. The June does look impressive as well. Uh,
that's
yeah,
my
I see.
preferred
I
version of
saw
the film.
again. I saw that at
Yeah,
JV behind the counter, and they sometimes put like cheaper sort of items like along the rails of JB. They're impulse buys, they call them. So you go, oh, maybe I will get that Vanessa Amorosi 20th anniversary edition. Of Absolutely
yeah.
Everybody, or whatever the album was called, Shine. I think it might have even been called. I'm gonna grab that. But then they've got like the $150 or $200 box set behind the counter, and you're looking and you go 20% off at the moment. That would bring it down to 160.
Yeah,
Could I do
like,
it? Could I do it? And
It's like
that's the position I find myself in. Last week, Ben, because there was a JB sale, 20% off sale that ran, and obviously the keep is out, and I was like, well, that brings it down to 159. That's not bad. That's pretty good. I don't even love the keep. Like, I think, I have a soft spot for it growing up with it. But yeah, that edition is just something to behold.
Like it is just like I was, I'd seen the images and stuff. I was pretty, like, oh, it's pretty special,
Yeah.
but I've got it.
Yeah.
When I actually got to hold it and take it out, take all the bits out and see all of the work that had gone into it and the quality of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
No, I know.
That's worth
And
it. It's
it's
worth
funny
it.
because the Dark Sky did Texas Chainsaw in the US last year for its 50th anniversary, and they did it in a chainsaw and that. And it was really expensive. And admittedly, there's a lot of content, but the actual chainsaw itself was so gimmicky and crappy, and people had pre-ordered it, received it, and was so underwhelmed. So it's kind of like the opposite of that, because you always set yourself up for a bit of disappointment. It can't be as good as that burger looked in the commercial. It can't be, because I've been to Hungry Jack's and McDonald's and been served that burger, and it's never looked like that. So yeah, it's always a pleasant surprise to see. So no doubt this thing is going to look amazing. Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm not even going to be able to be tempted in store, because I saw JB's listing and it's only going to be online, because obviously not going to be enough units to go around. And I guess it's an expensive item to keep on a store shelf. So yeah, I can't even see it in person.
Let's just hope their packaging team at JB are as good as the imprint packaging team, because
100%.
I've received my fair share of packages from JB Hi-Fi, and let's just say they haven't been as fantastic as I would have expected them to be.
They've gone surface mail. It's like an expensive steel book. I've still paid like $5 postage or whatever, and they've sent it in like the flimsy mailer, and I'm like, oh, this thing, how's it even made it? I don't know.
It's like, why is there a tire track over this cardboard box?
That's how most of my Amazons come, though. If they don't come with a tire track, I think it's some sort of scam.
Yeah,
because I'm like, this castle can't be right. This is someone's dropped it out the front. And they're watching. This is casing my house.
This is a return. Don't
scan the QR code.
Yeah, this is a return. Exactly. This is a return that you've repackaged up because the packaging is too good for Amazon.
Yeah, totally. To be first time around. Anyway, Benjamin, that is it for me for this month. It's a staggering month of release. It's been a staggering conversation. We haven't had Glenn here to cut us short. He's allowed complete free reign, and he's going to be regretting that when it comes time to
come edit
squeeze this segment into the show.
Yeah, I'm glad that is his problem.
That's not our responsibility. Anyway, I'll see you at Monster Fest, Ben. So until next time, stay physical.